Sani, Mudi, about 54 years old, born and bred in Jos, Jos not local government area of Plateau State. Then of course I went through my schooling age in Jos, both primary and secondary up to University of Jos, where I obtained my degree in law in the University of Jos. I have been in politics and I have been an active community worker also. And, in the political field, I've held offices at the party level, beginning from MPN, when we were young then. We were in the youth wing at the local level, that's at the community level, at one level actually, in 1979. By 1983, we had moved to the local government level, but then of course it was cut short by the coup, December 1983. So by 1984, we continued our normal businesses in life, small trading and other businesses. And then of course, as I said, we remain active members of the community in terms of community activities, community work, and foundation member of Josawa Development Association in those days. And then of course, when politics came back in, when the ban of politics was lifted once again in 1987, 88, still I joined the ANC. Of course, it wasn't registered. It was one of the 53 or so parties that were not registered by Babangida. When he said all of them did not meet the criteria set for registration. So he instead set up his own two parties, a little to the right and a little to the left. And then, of course, I was among that group that amalgamated and joined the NRC. So I was the pioneer, publicity, organizing secretary of NRC, and the defunct Jos local government, which presently comprises of Jos North, Jos East, and Jos South. So we started then, we formed the NRC here in Plateau, and then of course it became the second strongest party. Even if we couldn't win in the state, but we were able to defend our own in the local government, the creation of Jos North Local Government Council. Of course, we formed the first government in Jos North Local Government Council. Then I was appointed the supervisory councillor for works in Jos North Local Government Council. And then, of course, you know what happened when Abacha truncated that one too. And then, of course, we went back, we continued, and then later, by 1996, they started politics, that time on non-party basis. We were there, we mobilized the community, and then we produced the first chairman also on non-party basis, and was not the late retired Mohammed of Blessed memory, of course, whose election was annulled by a court, having failed to meet the minimum requirements of age, not because of anything. And then, of course, by 1996, properly it was in 1996, ban on party politics was lifted again. And then we joined the UNCP. UNC then, and the UNC now amalgamated with UNP to form UNCP. And I was there in UNCP till the end of the Abacha era. And then, of course, same we moved with our group to PDP. I was the coordinator of PDP in then Jos North Local Government, and then served as the legal advisor of the party in the local government today. The present senator here, J.N.S. Pajok, was the local government secretary of the party. I was the legal advisor. We were in the first local government exco of the party. And then by December of 1998, that is barely a few months after the formation of the party, the community urged me to come and contest for the chairmanship of the local government council. Of course, everybody knew that that was a primary that was inconclusive. And as a result of a certain horse trading that went on, when the party somehow nominated myself and my opponent, he as the chairman of the local government, and then I as the running mate. When we consulted with within our community. Even though we are not happy with the arrangement, because very well we were leading in the primaries, and when you cancel the primary, either you order a rerun or you say, okay, the leading candidate should take the first slot and then the order should take the first. When they didn't do that, then we said, okay, in the interest of peace, whatever it is, let's accept it so that we'll be part of this government that will be formed. So that was how that arrangement was made, and then I became the deputy chairman of the local government council. That election was held in December 1998. And we stayed for about 5 months. They did the election in stages. After that, in January, February, they did the gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections. And then later the presidential convention in Jos, the special PDP special convention. I was a delegate. And then we produced Obasanjo as our candidate, and then eventually he became the president of this country. Well, besides that, at the end of our tenure in 2002, after having served for 3 years as a deputy chairman of the council, later Dali appointed me a senior special assistant, that's Governor Dali, on community mobilization. And with all the turbulence, we were there till the end of the tenure of that administration. And we continued our politicking within the PDP, but at the same time, we know very well that Jos as a community suffered a lot. The crisis that involved the community, the divisions that came in, which we never knew before. Most of these unexpected happenings within the community. So I happened to be involved as a spokesman for the community, as well as leading so many committees, or leading a team that appeared before so many committees, either presidential or the state level, presenting memo from the community, representing the community. Side by side with that, I was also involved in virtually all the dialogues that took place, either at the inter-community level or interfaith level. I happen to be the secretary of the Emergency Council and Plateau State. So whatever it is at the interfaith level, one was involved. By coincidence, also at the community level, one was involved. At the political level, I've also been involved. So you hardly call from either of these 3 groups within this community without seeing me there. I've been an active community worker, so I've been used to it, and I think my training, helped me also to shape up and focus very well in terms of my service to the community. Let me give you an instance. In all the dialogues that we've been involved in, without a sound background, I wouldn't have been able to make it. I wouldn't have been able to make the impact I made or represent the community very well. And now, of course, very well, all these dialogues are aimed at, creating an environment whereby people will stop fighting each other. And then you have to send people that are competent, that have the disposition and attitude that will give, that will create that environment whereby people will be able to see things reason and then stop fighting. What we say, where it's allocated, the fact speaks for itself. You see, the fact that I have been represented is not that I have been forcing myself on the community. It's the community that will always insist that, look, whatever it is, if there is a team of 1 to 3 persons going for any meeting, they will say, you must be there. So if you are thinking of credibility, I don't know what further evidence you need more than that. At the political level, one is always there. At the community level, one is always there. At the religious level, one is always there. Well, sometimes it is just because of what you said earlier, because one shouldn't be seen to be promoting himself among others just for selfish reasons, trying to capitalize on certain situations just to get undue advantage over others. What I would say is that we've had people representing us before. And I think it is not that there is any sign a written agreement here that whoever comes will not be allowed to go for a second time. We have a member in the House of Assembly who has been there for 1, 2, and almost about going for a third time now. But when you have people that at least you are not satisfied with what they are doing, and they've not made any positive impact on the community in terms of their representation, I think the best thing is for the community to sit down and decide what is the best for it. And in the circumstances, I believe it is the community that decides what is best for it. And part of that decision is that I should come and contest for this election.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. You are coming at a time which you have already stated that the communities are not too united. If by God's grace you are elected, what steps do you want to take?
Thank you very much. As I said, looking at my background as a mediator, a conflict manager, that stands me out in a very good position to bring people together. In the course of my campaign, we've reached out to all communities because there is nothing, it's just very easy as because the bridges are there already. We've built bridges and it is time to utilize those bridges, not just for the benefit of myself or my community, but for the benefit of all these communities within the Jos or Plateau, or even Plateau at large. Why? Because Jos in particular is the melting point. And whatever happens here impacts either positively or negatively, not only on the state, but even beyond. We've seen reactions to happenings here from other parts of the country. So the fact is that you have to get people that are really involved, that really matter, so that they will work towards bringing the people together. If you look at it, we've always been talking about certain things that have been done wrong. And in the course of the dialogue we've had with people across all the divides, be it religious or popular, or ethnic, whatever, we've been able to understand that in some cases, or in most cases, we are almost on common grounds with one another. But because we've never been able to come together to talk and understand one another, we've not seen that. Now, for somebody like me that has been involved and has seen it like that, I don't think it will be difficult getting across to people and bringing them together. At a certain point that we've been talking, we've been able to arrive at a certain commitment. Take for instance the last one, the recent HG that we concluded, plenary sessions. All the communities agreed on certain points. I happen to be one of those participants who represented my community. I know all the key points, all the points of agreement. I know the gray areas that have been adequately addressed. So, and that HT is now a kind of a family within Plateau. Whether anybody likes it or not, it has become a reference point now in terms of intercommunal peace and peaceful coexistence. So I think I have the necessary background, exposure, experience, and reach out within the various communities, so much so that in terms of articulating the voices of people from all the diverse communities here, it will be very easy by the grace of God.
Okay, let me ask you one funny question.
Yes.
Do you believe in Plateau energy?
Of course I believe very well. That is also one of the factors that motivated me to once more go back to politics. For quite some time I've been involved much in community activities, but I feel people that have been representing us are not doing well. People that have been there are not really, or have not demonstrated enough confidence in Plateau, have not demonstrated enough confidence in Nigeria. And we have to change that. I believe in a very strong, united, and prosperous Nigeria.
Okay.
I want to tell them that my mission is to see that there is effective representation. Effective in the sense that the aspirations and wishes of the people will be adequately covered or represented, we have to work towards meeting the yearnings and aspirations of the people. We have to work towards providing a representation that will open a new chapter in terms of progress, meaningful development, in terms of peaceful coexistence among all the communities, so that everybody will feel adequately represented. When manufata na tsayawa zaɓe shi ne in tabbatar cewa an samu wakilci na gari wanda zai biya muradun al'ummar wannan yanki na Jos da Basa, ya tsaya kan bukatun al'umma, ya yi ƙoƙari wajen kare martabar al'umma da darajarsu, ya yi ƙoƙari wajen tabbatar da zaman lafiya mai ɗorewa har abada, ta yadda wannan yanki shi ma zai taka rawar shi da ta dace a cikin Plateau da Najeriya baki ɗaya.